Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the next installment in our Stokowski Retrospective. And today we're talking about 6 reissues of historical recordings on the Pearl label. These come from the overflow room. The overflow room where the overflow goes, or whatever. The overflow to the overflow. There's extra. I mean, if you were around and you saw now what I sort of have upstairs and then downstairs, the old overflow room, and there's just more. It's kind of everywhere. And these are some of his niftiest and most wonderful recordings, actually, at least his historical ones. Let's start out with this one. I think we'll start with this one. A Stokowski Fantasia. Historical recordings of the stuff, a lot of the stuff that's in the film, Fantasia. So what have we got here? We have his Bach Toccata and Fugue in D minor. We have the Tchaikovsky Nutcracker Suite, the Dukas Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is like one of the greatest things ever filmed. The Rite of Spring, although this is like the whole thing. And The Night on Bear Mountain, which is Stokowski's own arrangement, which does all kinds of odd things that Rimsky-Korsakov and Mussorgsky never would have dreamed of. So these were recorded, let's see, the Toccata and Fugue in D minor in 1927, the Nutcracker Suite in 1926, the Sorcerer's Apprentice in 1937, the Rite of Spring in 1929. It's a really early and famous recording. And the Night on the Bear Mountain, they call it, Night on Bald Mountain, whatever you want to call it, in 1940, with transfers by Ward Marston and Mark Obert-Thorne. It's an 80-minute CD, and it's all featuring the Philadelphia Orchestra, and it is marvelous. Absolutely wonderful, to the extent you can hear it. Well, you know, the sound is sometimes a little iffy, as it always was in these cases, but wow, what performances. And then we have Iberia, music of España. Yes, we have the Bizet, arranged by Stokowski, music from Carmen, which is his version of like the two suites kind of combined. And then we've got some Albanes, of course, the Fête Dieu à Seville from Iberia in Stokowski's arrangement as opposed to Arbos. The Spanish Dance from La Vida Breve. Then we've got El Amor Brujo with Nan Merriman, mezzo-soprano, and the New York City Symphony and the Philadelphia Orchestra and the Hollywood Bowl Symphony from, let's see, various times. We're going to talk about what the dates are, because that's sort of the fascinating thing about Stokowski, you know, his career that went like forever. Do they give us the dates? They must give us the dates. I mean, they have to do that. They always do on this label. It's a good label for that. Yeah, here we go. The Bizet is 19 something or other, 45. There we go. The Albanes was 1928. Wow. And the FIA was 1928. They were probably 278 sides or something like that. The El Amor Brujo was 1946. And was there something else? Am I missing something here? I don't know. Well, it's close enough. Yeah, I think that's it. Is that it? That was it. Yes. Now, there are stereo recordings of all of this stuff and much, much better sound, but there's, you know, the historical element. So who am I to, you know, deny that? Then we have, Russian stuff. Stravinsky and Lyudov. We have the Lyudov 8 Russian folk dances, which are endless fun. I'm beginning with a religious chant. Well, that's not a folk dance. It's 8 Russian melodies, whatever, something. Petrushka. We've got Petrushka and the Firebird Suite, and then Stravinsky's Pastoral and Fireworks. These are all transferred by Ward Marston, which is as good as it gets. And let's see, these come from, Petrushka is 1937, the Firebirds 1935, the Pastoral's 1934, Fireworks is 1922. That was probably while Stravinsky was writing it. I'm just, you know, it's a little later, but still, it's kind of amazing. And the Lyudov is 1934. So these are vintage things here. Are these all with Philadelphia? Let me look. Hang on a moment, Tito. I will let you know. Yes, Philadelphia. It's all Philadelphia. Yay. Then we have 3 discs This is where we get to the hot stuff. This is Wagner. Wagner, this is amazing stuff. Now, this is 4 volumes. I have volumes, well, it doesn't really say. They're not all labeled or numbered. And is one of these a twofer? I thought I had all of this stuff. Well, maybe, I guess I don't. I have 3 of them here. The rest of them must be somewhere else. Well, there's volume 2. There's volume... Music from Tannhäuser and Parsifal. These are all with Philly. These were absolutely legendary recordings, not just for the performances, but for their sonic amplitude for the day. I mean, they really were amazing. Now, these recordings are from 34 for 37. We get Tannhäuser Overture and Venusberg music and the Prelude to Act 3 in Stokowski's arrangement, and then Parsifal Prelude to Act 1, Act 3 Good Friday Spell, and Stokowski's own symphonic synthesis. I love his symphonic syntheses of Wagner. They really are wonderful ways to listen to Wagner. It's fun. And then we've got, let's see, what's this stuff? Volume 4. Okay, this has the Rienzi Overture, the Tannhäuser Overture and Venusberg music, the Meistersinger Prelude to Act 3, and the Tristan and Isolde symphonic synthesis. 35 juicy minutes of Tristan and Isolde. This is really fun. It's just a great piece. And it is an arrangement substantially differing from that recorded 3 years later, which is also on Pearl. So there you go. I mean, 1926 Rienzi Overture. I mean, he did Wagner as much as he did Bach. Just tons of it. Tons and tons of it. So this Tristan and Isolde thing that was 3 years before the other one is 1932. Rienzi's 26, as we said. Tannhäuser's 1930, 1929 and 30. And Meistersinger is 31. Yeah, and last but not least, we get the Meistersinger Prelude, Lohengrin Preludes to Acts 1 and 3, the Wesendonck Lieder, well, 3 of them, with Helen Traubel, yeah, soprano, and the Tristan and Isolde other symphonic synthesis. Yes, here it is. And these were recorded between 1927 and 1940. We don't have to go into the details, with the Philadelphia Orchestra. I mean, this is really historical in the best sense. Really in the best sense. It charts the advent of electrical recording technology, the Stokowski's Wagner, one of the great Wagnerian conductors of all time, doing Wagner and his symphonic syntheses and those things. The magnificent Philadelphia Orchestra, which is more generally signifies the rise of the major American orchestras as, performing ensembles of astonishing quality and world class. I mean, there are just so many angles to look at this stuff, and I just love it. And that's why I hang on to it. I really do. And you can still find it around, and it's all on YouTube now, and it's so much easier to get a hold of than it used to be. But I save these. They're convenient to have, and I enjoy going through them, and I've enjoyed talking about them with you. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.